Hello? Hello? Anyone out there?
Oscar Tango Mike.
Ghost, what the hell are you doing here, man? I mean, come on. I thought Shepard burned your ass up.
But this is the new modern warfare, so I'm back.
And better than ever! Sorry. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rocktober finale podcast for the Renegades Ramble, episode number 49. And how are y'all today? We hope that you all are having a fun time out there, and hope that you all will have a fun time trick-or-treating, depending on the weather, of course, because the weather can sometimes
it's been
be sort of a dick.
All day.
The weather can sometimes be a bit of a jerk. So, yeah. We, as you can see, we are dressed up in our proper attire, as you
barely,
can see.
But
well,
yeah, we gotta do it.
Barely. P.O.P. Holding it down. So, that old meme. Gosh. Skip it up and butt up. Says Valentine Eyes 1996. I'm doing effing splendid. How are you? Visualize Infinity? Doing pretty good, actually. I mean, honestly, given everything that we're, that has happened over the last month, I mean, things are doing pretty good, if I say so myself. I mean, surprising the heck out of me. I figured, hell, we'd have already, had the bottom fall out on us, and we'd have just been destroyed. Actually, I will report this. We did have a copyright strike against us not too long ago. And it was because of, someone requested in our Discord that we react to the reanimated thing that they did for the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode, Freaky Fred. You remember Muriel's nephew Fred, who's a barber, and, it shaves Courage and it acts all psychotic.
Somebody flagged you on Courage the Cowardly Dog?
No, they reanimated an episode with a bunch of different animators doing a certain amount. I think it was 12 seconds each.
Gotcha.
And people asked us to react to it, and we did. And we got a block on the video, and I filed an appeal. And as soon as I filed the appeal, I get a notification that, you have a strike now. I'm like, well, damn, y'all move fast. So I got in contact with the email that was provided by YouTube, which they have to do now. They have to provide you with an email, a valid email that is legible, or else they're not liable for things. Anyway, it's a whole big complex thing that's a bunch of BS. But what do you expect? But anyway, they provide me with the email. I email the guy. The guy emails me back about 4 or 5 hours later, and he says, "Okay, so what exactly is the problem?" I'm like, "We have a strike on our video coming from this, and we want to try and get it removed." So yeah, that's all well and good, but I'm just like, "Hey, is there still a way we can post this?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay." So that video will probably be made available on our Patreon here soon. Hopefully you all will be able to tune into that on there. And I'm not going to make it to where it's behind a paywall or anything. Anyone and everyone who comes to our Patreon will be able to view it. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing here soon. But before we move on and before we start watching the memes, I know we just got a meme right there. Mm-hmm. We actually are going to be watching, as a little bit of a surprise, a game that Nick is going to be playing ad nauseum here in the next little bit. Death Stranding, the official launch trailer. Oh my God, this is okay. Yeah, Nick.
Take my sunglasses.
Yeah, go ahead, take off your sunglasses.
Go ahead and take the mask.
Yeah. Go ahead, because I bet
nobody's gonna be able to hear me.
He's been wearing that now for the last about 20 minutes.
I just sound like Bane talking through it.
I was wondering what would break.
I'm gonna come out there for this.
Okay, all right. I thought you'd.
You might have adapted
come on.
to the dog, but I got good at it.
I know he won't spoil too much.
Okay, fair enough. Come on out, Nick.
You on my seat?
Yeah, I'm coming out.
No, here, I'll grab this chair over here.
Okay.
I don't need a chair. I can just stand on it.
No, here you go, dude.
I will levitate.
We will, we will. Let's set these to the side. Nick, you come on out and you sit in the middle, bud. There we go.
Wait until you're ready so I can hit play. And I'm gonna run out there.
Oh, I'm ready. Go ahead. Woo!
Sarah.
Sony Interactive.
Don't worry.
Ah, Mads Mikkelsen.
I'll always be with you.
Damn it, I left it on the playbook.
It's okay. I got it. Ah, low roar. Nice.
Put it in 3D.
I'll stay with you by your side. Close your tired eyes and wait. And soon I'll see your smile in a dream.
Tell me, Sam, what does America mean to you? Way my dad made it sound, we were something special. The glue that held it all together. More than a nation. A symbol of freedom and hope. We could bring it all back if we kept on making deliveries and connecting people. He was sure of it.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. But these terminals are still isolated. We need you to bring them online. And for that, you'll need a Cupid. This is how we'll rebuild our country. Just fly. Extinction's on hold for now.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
What's the other mark from? Clinging woman in a cave. I see. Aphenphossophobia. Sam, I owe you an apology. What was the name you were going to give your old baby if he'd have made it? I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about. You're the one I wanted to send, Sam. Time's running out. Help Emily. She needs you.
You have to break some ties to forge others. Keep me tied to everything.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
What isn't? But we're still here. We're still chugging along.
Not everyone. Not me.
Come on. You put America back together, didn't you?
You didn't have to cut all ties and walk away. The president was right about that much.
Wasn't anything to walk away from. It's not like I was ever welcome there.
Come on, even I was welcome.
I feel like they're kind of like spoiling some of the stuff in the game.
Kind of, but at the same time, you don't know how it all fits together.
I mean, obviously it could be early on in the
I don't really
game.
understand fully what's going on.
Oh hell no! I'm pretty sure you'll play through this game and still not understand what the fuck's going on.
Troy Baker, yes. Lindsay Wagner, nice.
We've had 5 mass extinctions, each caused by an extinction entity. And
Space well.
for 6. Take care of Lou.
Some other is to Port Knot City. It's done enough. No more.
The decommissioning order finally came through.
Dead.
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least.
I had no idea until you told me. No idea that I was alive. Living is no different from being dead if you're all alone. I'm on the beach, Sam. Our beach.
Kind of breaks the mood.
Come and find me.
Already fell.
I'm not the only one wearing masks here. There's your boss man, and that woman, and let's not forget little old you.
Well, I want a mask too.
I wanted to. It's Amerigo. After Amerigo Vespucci, the man who discovered the continent.
I thought it was Columbus.
Except Amerigo was full of it. He lied. America is a lie.
Such a fucking cool umbrella.
Thick umbrella,
For
bro.
this tour, I'll have to touch you.
Surely somebody's made a prop of that by now.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Close your eyes. Now picture Amelie in her beach. You love her, right? You love her. There it is.
Oh, it's almost time.
What the fuck is this game?
I still don't know where the hell this game is going to go. I can understand why the actors didn't understand now, because Mads Mikkelsen, even though he's potentially playing the antagonist of this, I mean, I guarantee, and he said, I have no idea what the hell this is going to be. I still don't. And honestly, I understand that now, and I think that's the point Kojima's going for. He doesn't want you to actually understand what the hell's going on until he wants you to.
It definitely.
And I think that'll be at the end.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's even going to fully explain everything in this, or if he's got more planned after this.
I like how it definitely it looks like they added more in there than just, you know, FedEx Simulator, whatever.
There's a lot more in there. The combat.
I'm kind of thinking there's going to be like two separate halves to the game.
Yeah.
I think
it almost sort of looks like you're going to be doing a lot of that stuff at first. It's not going to be boring, it looks like, because you're going to be traversing like really dangerous environments and have people trying to get you while you're doing it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be kind of like...
then it looks like it's going to go horror at some point.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be like in an alternate dimension or some shit, like doing some other stuff.
Well, they keep talking about like relinking America and stuff, so it sounds like maybe like kind of like Last of Us, where you're gradually like moving across the country over time or something.
Yeah.
And so like you're going like from city to city or place to place. I don't know. And it definitely
does. It looks absolutely nuts.
I wish I had a fucking PlayStation.
And I do not know where the hell they're going with this.
Although I heard
We're stoked to play it though.
I heard they're looking at putting it out on PC like in 2020 or something.
If that's a possibility, because Sony paid for a lot of the development, and I guarantee you they're dealing it out because of the popularity of this. They're dealing it out to potential
other platforms,
such as like. I know Switch isn't going to get it because this is way too demanding of a game for the Switch.
I heard that like some people are worried because like for the PC stuff they're talking about like Epic Games. Like,
if they do the Epic Games Store, I'll be very disappointed. But at the same time, Sony wants to make as much of a dent in the PC market as they want to with this. And honestly, if they want to make as big a dent to where they reap the most profits, I think they should go.
Steam.
Yeah, I think because the Epic Game Store has such bad juju surrounding it. It'll be 5 to 6 years before the Epic Game Store will be fully operational on the same level that Steam is. That's not me projecting. That's their actual work. That's their actual workflow that they released. They're not going to be fully operational until 2022 or 2023.
Did you hear? What company was it? They joined Valve or something to basically to put their stuff on Steam. Damn it! EA.
Yeah, it's because of the Last Jedi Fallen Order, or not Last Jedi, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It is getting a full release on Steam, which that's where I'm going to get it because I want to play it on PC. And honestly, I want to support Stig Asmussen and the team at Respawn who made this single-player game and are not resorting to microtransactions and loot boxes and shit like that. And it's a big middle finger to EA because the very moment this game becomes successful under the guise of EA and EA has no creative control over it, it's going to send shockwaves throughout the entire company and just say, damn, maybe we are doing things wrong.
And possibly other companies, too.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Nick. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean,
hopefully.
Well, it'll take Epic until Fortnite eventually falls off the map, which I'm predicting here in the next 2 to 3 years. Epic will have to realize, okay, we have to go back. We can either try and do the exact same thing we did, or we can try something new, a single-player game or something like that. They're not going to realize that, and they're going to do the same thing that EA and Activision have been doing for the last decade. They're going to keep repolishing the game, rebranding it, re-releasing. Repolishing, rebranding, re-releasing. That's just what they do. They've done the same thing with Activision. I mean, Activision, they did it with Call of Duty. EA, no different, doing it with Battlefield. And Ubisoft did it for the longest time with Assassin's Creed. But when their games started to falter, they realized, okay, we actually have to take time to develop these games. And that's when you get Assassin's Creed Origin and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which a lot of people say are the best Assassin's Creed games since Black Flag.
Have you seen that trailer for Battlefield 5, the new one, like the Pacific?
Oh, the Pacific thing. Here's the thing, though. It's still attached to Battlefield 5, which still gives a lot of people a bad taste of them. I'm excited for the updates that they're doing for Battlefront 2. I mean, the team at DICE who works on Battlefront 2, they keep trying to release new game modes and this and that, but their player base isn't going up because of a bad first impression. Bad first impressions impact the game a lot, and unless you do a rebranding or unless you hit home run after home run with DLC updates and everything, for instance, Destiny did that. Destiny in the beginning, a lot of people complained that there was no story to it. But eventually, they put more story into it with DLC. Destiny 2, on the other hand, released with a fair amount available at the beginning, and people liked it better than they did Destiny.
Yeah, I run it just to play the campaign.
And now Destiny 2 is completely split off from Activision and have said, yeah, we're going our own way now. Bungie has gone solo.
Bye.
And I appreciate that because I like Bungie. Bungie's a great video game development studio. Whereas EA has not legit developed a game since Madden 2006.
And now Bethesda's getting their ass handed to them by Obsidian with the Outer Worlds.
Oh, that's another thing too. Oh yeah, Nick is officially backing out here. Bye, Nick. Well, actually, it's not bye. It's just transition.
Don't break anything over there.
Yeah, he's okay. And will he make it? Hey, he Mission Impossible. He's Mission Impossibling his way
through cables
and shit.
He can watch in front of the cameras. It's okay.
So it's okay. It's okay. And also, before you do that, Nick, hold on. One thing before you do that.
To answer your question there, Sarah, this is not really exactly for anything in particular, but I like Titanfall, I like Call of Duty, so somewhere in between. And Halo. I got my little Halo jetpack thingy. So I'm heavily armored. I got a cool Titanfall gun. So that's what I am.
Hey, Ron.
Yes.
Turn on that TV behind you.
Which one?
Behind you.
Oh.
Turn this one off.
Power.
Speed and power. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are officially with the. Now that Death Stranding is officially done. Holy shit!
What is that?
That's a big donation.
Biggie?
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. So, good lord.
Who sent us?
Yeah, that was a $30 donation. Thank you. Who was that, Nick?
The Gimster.
Gimster,
Okay.
you are
Yeah,
a gunshot
you're gonna
to the
have to-
face.
Yeah. You get a celebratory. Fuck it. We debated about it. I'm just saying, fuck it. let's just go with that.
And flag.
All right.
You hurt my feelings.
I don't
That
really
middle
care. I don't really care, Becky.
I can't wait for the whole fucking outrage culture bullshit to fucking.
It looks like it's
collapse.
officially it looks like it's dying down because Tony Hinchcliffe had probably one of the best things ever happen to him. It happened at one of his shows. For those of you who are offended by certain brands of comedy, allow me to please avert your ears because Tony Hinchcliffe does not give a fuck, and honestly, he's not an edgelord edge boy and says stuff just to be offensive. He's saying it because he thinks he's making a legitimate point, and honestly, I kind of respect him for it. But that being said, his joke involved Alabama being the first state to in a long time to overturn Roe v. Wade and say, hey, abortion is now fully illegal in the state of Alabama. To which Tony Hinchcliffe says, no. If anything, Alabama, that should be mandatory abortion. I mean, you think of it. I mean, there's certain cases that can be made for legit abortions. I mean, kids with Down syndrome, kids with certain impairments that will cause them suffering later in life.
Kids from Alabama.
Los Angeles Raiders fans. I'm joking about that one. That was actually my addition to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he starts making this joke.
Love you, Alabama.
He goes, I love Alabama too. I've been through Alabama a few times. Beautiful state. But Tony said this. He said, you know who a legitimate one would be nowadays? Helen Keller. To which this everyone was just like, oh, he's like, oh, people are offended by that. Wow, Helen Keller. Yeah, to ask me how does Helen Keller feel about me, making a joke about her? Oh wait, that's right, she's dead. She's dead. And it's like, and you know what? The interesting thing is, if Helen Keller were here right now, in the prime of her life, she would not know what the fuck I just said. You think about that. And this one woman chimes off and says, he like, that's offensive, this and that and this and that. He's like, honey, I want to break something to you. Here's a novel concept I want you to grasp. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if you're offended and this and that. And I'm just like, wow, damn. And he pretty much just railed that woman so bad with just shutting her down and everything. She left. She left the room.
Yeah.
And look, am I saying every brand of comedy, you should sit there and watch every brand of comedy, even if it's offensive? No. If you find something offensive and you don't want to be there, then leave. You don't have to stay. You don't have to try and shut someone down and this and that. I mean, you try your damnedest to be, find accepting viewpoints in life, and if you find something offensive and you don't like it, you don't have to stay there, but yet at the same time, you don't got to shut the person down simply because you disagree with them. I mean, there's things I disagree with you upon. Does that mean...
Yeah.
And same thing with me. You disagree with me.
And that's the thing, like, I have my own feelings. Everybody can have their own feelings, but...
Yes.
For the most part, leave that shit out of entertainment and stuff. It's just gonna get people all offended and pissed off, and so
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell stories without having to push an arrow. It's why people are fucking so goddamn sick of Star Wars and shit at this point, because they ran the whole fucking diversity hire train and
Well,
gotta,
and
gotta
here-
be all
and-
in offensive and
here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. I have no problem with people or women involved with.
No,
as a matter of fact, there's some stories that feature nothing but women. I absolutely love. And there's also like some of the best films of all time are from countries that honestly I have a hard time pronouncing. I mean, it's like the thing is, you have to do it right. You have to present things in a legitimate way. Otherwise, it comes off as hollow.
Well, it's not even like it's not even like doing something offensive in the movie. It's at this point, if you're hired and you're not the right person in the role, like fucking. Yeah, like even like Scarlett Johansson just talked about this something about as far as
that one time where she was actually on the queue to play a trans
something like
person.
I guess she responded to that I guess a few days ago.
She
did. She was talking about the as actors they should be able to act in what they want to.
Bill Burr had one of my favorite things about it when people were shitting on Bryan Cranston because he wanted to play a quadriplegic in that one movie with Kevin Hart. I forget the name of it now, but people were saying and that would have been a perfect opportunity for someone who was actually a quadriplegic actor to step forward in this and that. It's like, and Bill Burr said this. He's like, that's not acting. That's like
pandering.
That's like look. If a guy who's a quadriplegic, like honestly, Bill Burr, he said that he's like, sir, how do you feel about getting this role? He's like, I feel like I've been preparing for this role my entire life. It's like,
God.
No. In truth, here's the thing. I had a grandfather who was a paraplegic. Paralyzed from the waist down in a coal mining accident. Terrible accident, and he was paralyzed and in a wheelchair for the majority of his life. And here was the thing about him: he hated it. When people just pandered to him, when people would point to him as an example as to what we should aspire to be. I remember that happening one time. He was looked down upon at a Walmart. The person, he was waiting in line like everyone else. He didn't care. He was just sitting there with his cart, pushing it along, waiting in line, and. They was like, sir, here, come over here. We have a line that will open up just for you. And my granddad was I remember like sitting there and I'm just like, oh yeah, we can get out of here faster now. My grandfather looked at them and said, no, I'm good right here. I'll wait just like everyone else.
Yeah.
To which they're like, sir, please. I mean, we really want to help you in this and that. And it was to the point they annoyed him so bad, he threw his cart forward and rolled out. He rolled out, and my mom went back in, and after talking him down, he got back in there. He opened up his car door. He got himself into his truck. He got his wheelchair collapsed down, threw it in the back of the truck, and took off. And I'm just like, and my mom went back inside and paid for the groceries, and we brought it to his house. Look, if there are people who are willing to accept the help and need the help, all well and good. But if there are people out there who do not want the help, if you're speaking on someone else's behalf, if you're being offended on someone else's behalf, you're not a part of the solution. You're part of the problem. And look, I
think it's right to offer it, but if they insist, if they're like, no, I'm good.
Services should be readily available for anyone who is willing to accept them, but has to be the point where the person accepts it. Because
don't force them to.
Yeah, if you force someone into that way of thinking or that way of that stuff like that, it's not genuine. It's ugly, and I hate that. I hate the feeling that because thinking back on that, it just makes me realize how people are nowadays. People are so jaded, and it actually pointed out in that Tony Hinchcliffe thing. Tony Hinchcliffe, he said, you notice that when she was talking, she didn't actually say that she sympathized with people who were, handicapped or mentally impaired or something like that. She made it all about her. And that's partially what it is. People want to make they want to.
There are some people that are taking advantage of like the whole social justice movement and stuff to try and get a bigger spotlight. Look how big my voice is. Look what because everybody wants to make an impact in the world.
It's the loudest. The loudest people.
Everybody wants to see.
It's a lot like how the Kardashians took power. I mean, they were the loudest. They screamed the loudest, and this and that, and people just couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
And that's just that seems to be what has followed suit in every form of media out there. I mean, hell, Kotaku, formerly one of the premier voices in video game journalism way back in the day, got taken over and got a bunch of writers and people came in that overall had one thing on mind. They were agenda writers instead of reviewing. Mm-hmm. They wrote about an agenda, not about a review of a game. They didn't care about how good a game was. If it didn't speak to their agenda, they would either not review it or they would write a bad review about it. That's just how they operated.
Yeah, Kotaku's like falling apart.
Yeah, Kotaku actually, some of the writing staff a lot of the writing staff has been laid off because a lot like Huffington Post and a lot like Gawker, their readership and viewership has gone through the floor. And Kotaku, it's the same thing. Nobody goes to these websites anymore, and they inflate their numbers to make it seem like they're a much bigger deal. For instance, like Tumblr. Tumblr was bought by Verizon 10 years, I think it was not 10 years ago, but I think 6 or 7 years ago for $1.1 billion. Do you know how much Verizon just sold Tumblr for?
And I don't follow it. So
take a wild guess.
Is it higher or lower?
Lower. Take a wild guess.
100 million.
3 million.
3 million? Oh man.
That's right. Verizon ate a 900. A 1 billion. 1 billion. It's $1.097 billion loss on Tumblr.
3 million, dude. That's almost as much as like this building was worth when the school sold it, whatever, to or got the insurance on it. Jesus.
Look, and there's no discredit to Tumblr. I mean, I've been on Tumblr a few times. I've seen some interesting stuff on there, but the main reason why Tumblr went so far downhill is because it became a haven for child pornography, and it was a terrible place to go because it was everywhere. And then 4chan got involved with ghosting them and just gaslighting everybody, and Tumblr lost their mind, and they felt like everyone was out to get them, and everyone wrote a blog about it, and pretty soon advertisers stopped coming to Tumblr because they realized none of the people who are actually on this website buy our stuff, so why should we give them ad revenue?
So how long do we have to wait till that happens to Facebook? Because I really
never, because Facebook, the advertisers on Facebook are perfectly happy because the one that was in trouble for a while was Twitter, because Twitter did not censor the immediate photos whenever they were posted. For instance, if Emily Ratajkowski or any famous adult film actress out there posted a picture of herself nude. Completely nude, then Twitter would not block that immediately, and you would and instead. And now how they do it now is whenever they post something like that, you have to click to verify you are of age to look at it, and then you're able to see it. But it's not immediately viewable once you scroll by it. You see, that's the one thing Twitter had to change in order to get a lot of their advertisers back. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram now is starting to institute policies that you are not allowed to show. You're not allowed to show certain, but they don't have the same thing Twitter has, where it shows like this contains adult content. Click here to see. Click here to verify, or something like that. And Facebook, it's pretty much the same thing. Facebook, it will, although Facebook is. They don't allow you to post anything like that, and that's sort of how they built their platform. You see, whenever you have a platform that changes its policies later on, when that's what people are used to, then you got a problem. But Facebook, ever since the beginning, has pretty much almost been a zero tolerance policy for public posts that feature nudity. And
Twitter is where all the rage goes, and Facebook is for friends, family, and political brainwashing.
Oh God.
Anyways, I'm sure we got a whole bunch of memes.
Yeah, we do probably. What's the first one on the doc? Go ahead and maximize it, Nick.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I forgot it.
Oh, that's right. We had one from last week.
There's Ariel donating for Sarah. So, Sarah's sweet man.
Oh shit.
Keep talking.
Sorry, guys. So, it's hard for me to type or do anything with these freaking gloves on, so I'm going to take these gloves off. If we get donations high enough, I might strip. You never know. Oh no! Now that I've said that, I know it's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen.
No, you got that.
I'm not going to go full Ricardo because number one, I don't wear banana hammocks, and number two, I don't.
You
have
don't
an
want to
American
see him
banana
wear
hammock.
that.
You don't. No, nobody. Not even myself. If I saw that in the mirror when I woke up in the morning, I would immediately break the mirror and throw it away. But yeah. Oh yeah, Thanos has human hands. I'm.
Knock, knock. Who's there? A mirror. I am lonely.
Knock knock. Who is there? A mirror. I am lonely. Knock knock. Who's there? The door.
Hey, do you want to see an impression of my dad?
Oh.
Comedy.
It's still 2 minutes.
Yes.
120 seconds, right?
Yeah. 120 seconds.
Come on, Nick. It's 135 seconds for 2 minutes, of course.
Ariel's not here, Nate? Oh no.
Shut up. Oh.
Union's in chat, by the way.
Oh, Union! Hey, Union, guess what? Me and Nick both got Space Hulk. Hope you're ready, bud. Hope you're ready, because we are going to purge some Xenos, brother. Brother. Hey, wait, is this Mystery Guitar Man? Because this Mystery Guitar Man, Joe's actually become a hell of a director, dude. You should see his film.
I always love watching these guys. Like people do, like the guitar remakes of game music. The Mass Effect one from Mass Effect 2, Suicide Mission's always the fucking best.
Yeah.
Listen, for the Emperor.
For the Emperor!
How's it go? Cleanse them in fire or some shit?
Yes.
Cleanse them in
Bathe
fire.
them in fire, brother. Use the heavy flamer. That is too much heavy flamer. There is no such thing.
Yeah, there's no such thing as too much fire. On to the next one.
Let's go, Kane says you guys know what this is.
Nothing will beat the Molyneux mix so far. That was my period of being 3 years old. I remember, do you remember back in the day, the Macho Man, I think it was Macho Man commercial or something?
Slim Jim?
Maybe? It was like, Macho Man. They basically did like the Village People music.
Yeah.
I forget what brand or product it was, but I was like 5 or 6 years old and I was just dancing to that stupid shit. Go to my parents all the time.
Macho Man.
I don't know why.
I want to be a macho man.
Oh, man. Those are the days. What we got next?
Just said hopefully my side of Streamlabs isn't bugged like last time. If it isn't,
How long till more Hell's Reach? Hopefully this week. Hopefully we will get to it this week, man.
To what?
Hell's Reach. It's a it's a thing with Warhammer.
Now imagine that dog
Bill said that
running.
it's like to chew 5 gum.
Yeah, you see a random dude dressed as Thanos and some dude in volunteer like Death Marine armor.
I'm gonna do an internet.
Whoa!
I'm gonna do a book. Oh.
Meanwhile, this dog's just like, I got your GoPro.
Yeah. How unfortunate would that be if that dog ran right into a wall and it got throated by this fucking whatever stick?
Oh, that would suck. And look at the one person just sitting there filming the whole thing.
I give up. I give up.
Nope. Oh, damn it.
Please.
Okay.
Damn it. Me, I just grab like a friggin' pork chop or something. Just be like, hey,
Oh, yeah, you
hey,
show
you
'em
want
food,
this?
they'll-
You
they'll
want this? And he'll
change
drop
their
it
tune.
immediately and just start begging for food.
All right, food always trumps everything.
Oh yes, yes it does. Another.
Freelancer Dan said, Game Grumps.
There's the Game Grumps.
Game Grumps.
Whatever that was.
Spider punch, spider kiss.
Punch, spider kick, spider kiss, spider punch.
Whoa. What was that? Spider punch?
Spider kick.
No, before that. Oh, you mean spider punch.
Spider punch.
My focus bar's full. I can focus on more kisses.
Come here.
Spider pull, spider kiss. Zip the point, spider kiss.
Jesus Christ.
Spider-Man was sued for sexual harassment. There are 30 counts of sexual harassment last week.
Surprise cuddle. Spider biter. Spider spider.
Spider cuddle.
Foot kiss. It's the kiss of the feet. Ooh, feet kiss.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Did you guys just go ass first into that, dude?
Yeah, dude. Foot kiss.
Oh, my God! Next time on Game Grumps!
The perfect conclusion.
Oh, amazing. That made me very happy.
I bet it did, Dan. I bet it did.
Dusk.
Ooh, get ready.
I know what this is. This is
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, this. I love this. Yeet! Yeet!
Geometry clinging on or whatever.
He said, listen extremely closely to this one.
I'll put on my extremely close ears. Okay.
Did you hear the beat from Mario there?
I heard it.
We'll go to the tape on I'm going to the tape now.
Yep, you did. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. I wonder if somebody's got to have done that. Like, they're just.
Oh, I believe so.
Man, you see all those ones that people make music out of, like car doors and shit, and what are like all the
Yeah.
shit in their car.
What's next, Nick?
And Dusk says, and cue the song of torture.
Oh God. Would you like a gun?
To put in my own mouth and pull the trigger?
No. Walk over here to the camera and shoot dust. white flag for like gun violence.
Hey, Nick. And
you're about to get double snap.
Snap.
Dusk.
Hey, it worked! It worked! Yes! Yes! Oh, thank you! Oh, I love you! Oh, God, never leave my side! Oh, my God, thank you! Holy shit! Oh. Oh. Thank you so much! Thank you! Thank you! Oh, oh God! Oh, thank you!
Hey, Nate, I don't feel so good.
Well, that's just because you're not dying fast enough.
Right?
You're not the only one who did that. Now just put
what
it in
makes
the
you
freaking
so
chat.
special, Spider-Man? What makes you so special that you get an extra 10 seconds to like say how terrible everything is? Everybody else just gets dusted immediately.
I can just send a different version. Jesus Christ. All right. What
else we got?
What's next, man?
Sorry for cutting your meme short, Dusk. It was just funny.
It was perfect timing.
Timing.
You're paying for cinematic quality here.
Yeah. So, Juggernager64 donated this one.
Juggernager. No, I am the Juggernager.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A taste of the new COD Games campaign.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We're going to be talking about this here in a few. I have my thoughts. They're good.
Verdansk. Yeah, Verdansk.
Echo 3-1 to Charlie 2 actual. Go for actual.
Sick mustache, bro.
LZ is in sight. Looks like our boys are running out of time, Colonel.
Roger 3-1. Hitman teams are locked and loaded for assault. You are green to go.
Sounds like John Slattery.
Too late, Laswell. We're live.
These cinematics.
It is John Slattery.
Yeah. These cinematics are so fucking cool.
Section Chief Laswell, in traffic.
They did a good job with this.
Barkov has sent a new shipment of foreign gas to his depot, but his mercs are prepping to move the
Whoa.
Ruh-roh. Extend via convoy tonight. You're still clear to engage, but live fire on Russian military is prohibited. We cannot have an international incident.
No guarantees Russian army won't respond on this case.
Understood, Alex. Just locate the gas and commandeer Barkov's truck to get off the X before the tide turns.
Tommy Watcher, we'll handle it.
Roping down. Fast rope.
Oh, that's nice.
All Hitman teams push to your set.
I want to play this.
Yeah, it's fucking good. It's definitely worth buying. I rented it, but when I get the money, I'm probably gonna buy it because it's good.
Russian general wouldn't be caught dead out here.
I wonder what they're playing this on. This looks really good.
My PC.
Oh, they won't show it. Damn it.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stealth elements in that. Yeah, we'll probably bring it up if we have some time at the end. But there's a couple missions in there that feel like something that you'd see in like the Bin Laden raid or something, where it's not like fucking Michael Bay explosions everywhere. You're running through a battlefield kind of fucking thing. There's some of them where they're real short kind of missions, very small space, but it's like going into a house and clearing it one room at a time and stuff, and you're moving with a team, upstairs and everything. It's really cool. Yeah,
that's nice.
You can probably type it in like Call of Duty. What was it?
WWE 2K20 just got worse.
Oof.
It was already terrible to begin with. How the hell could they make that game any worse?
Put in like Modern Warfare house clearing mission.
Wait, is Nate shaving his head again? Yes, I am. Because honestly, it's for one part. Okay. I originally was doing it for Jacob to help him build his PC, and we pretty much have all the parts in mind and everything, and all the parts ordered and put in. But at the same time, I also wanted to use it to help out. I guess help and get him some. I actually wanted to surprise and give him like an upgrade, like in terms of a graphics card and shit like that. Probably get him like a 1070 Ti.
Yeah, this
or,
one.
Oh yeah.
And Commander Kareem's forces have destroyed General Barkov's forward operations.
Oh.
This looks good. Bravo 6. Get on the rear column.
You see, the feel. They nail the feel of this. I love the look.
It's very good.
The look, the feel, everything just seems.
It's with this, like it's very dependent on how the player plays and stuff, because there are a lot of ways to go about this. It kind of feels like they took a lot of inspiration from Rainbow Six Siege, kind of.
Kind of, except the quality, dude. The look, like the look of this is amazing.
I don't know if there are any subtitles.
Like graphics from Visage.
Quiet.
We're working with an ultra mass. There are counter operations in the east after the attacks.
Damn.
Secure.
Alpha 3. Night vision here.
Entry to the front door.
Fucking go night vision, asshole. What are you fucking doing?
It's not that dark here.
Well, I know, but
there we go.
There we go. That's it.
Bravo 6 to the first floor.
You just feel how slow pace is. It builds tension a lot better and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they have the music playing in this either.
That's good. Damn.
X-rays down.
It definitely puts you in weird situations too, because like at one point, like the dude was holding her hostage, and you think, okay, you just saved her, but then she immediately turns around and grabs an AK-47, and you gotta put her down too.
First floor secure.
On way.
Oh, Captain Price up front.
To the second floor.
Shit. I want to play this freaking game now.
Open the door!
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, this guy didn't do a good playthrough compared to others, what I was saying, but.
Oh, I hear a baby.
Floor secure.
Ready for stairs. Bravo 6 taking the third floor.
I will not betray the law. I don't want to be working on. Let me go. Let me go.
Take your shots.
Secure. Suck the kill.
Oh. Good shot.
He actually, if you don't shoot him at that first point, he crawls under the bed and tries to shoot you, and you can miss it.
Locked.
Try and take him alive.
Down, get down, get down!
Don't shoot. Don't shoot, please. They were going to kill me. They locked me in here.
There.
All teams, townhouse secure. Commence SSE.
Oh, fucking hell. She was going for a bloody detonator.
Good job we dropped it in.
We made the right call, sir.
Obey your orders. We got location on the wolf.
Love Captain Price. Such a fucking good character.
Yeah, he is. I love his friggin' mustache, too.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, his mustache is epic.
Communications from the laptop were tracked to Ramaza Hospital in Urzikstan, where the Alpha Tower leader is believed to be holed up.
Damn, son.
Anyways, that's a taste
Shit.
of it. Yeah, the game is definitely.
Oh shit! The display capture, dude.
Yeah, I didn't have it on there.
What's up?
Like I don't know if we.
No, the display capture's active, dude. And look at it.
Oh, what?
I forgot. That's
Oh, is it too low?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oops.
At least you guys got to see like a smidgen of it.
Sorry.
You guys can pull it up on YouTube. It's
Yeah,
definitely
sorry,
worth
guys.
seeing it on that rather than the little box screen on there. It's very good. We're playing the game. I would very much recommend the game. Now it's in a lot of ways it's kind of your run of the mill Call of Duty, but they definitely have a lot of interesting aspects. So I only did one playthrough of it because I was renting for a night. I haven't turned it in. But
how you just change it on Obi? Okay.
Excuse me.
So I did one playthrough.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, the display capture's still big.
What?
The display capture was still big.
What are you talking
I'm not even seeing it anymore.
Hold the phone.
There's nothing on the screen.
Hold on a sec.
To the Gimster 101, I would say war has changed. It's all about nanomachines now.
Games? No, it's a different thing. It's the media share.
Sorry guys, we're just trying to get something fixed up here. So we will be back here in a second.
Sorry guys, that's bugging me to death.
Alright, this is from Juggernaut 64.
Okay. Alright, Jugger.
They're saying war never changes, but then Dr. Dell says war has changed. It's a buggy shit show with a $100 subscription now.
Oh no.
And yet he still met only one man worthy of Claire. You want my sister? You can have her. I left everything you need together at my place. Now you just have to fuck her.
Jesus.
Called this man to Chris's house, promising dreams greater than he ever dared to imagine. This is the man known as the Great
Leon S. Kennedy.
Once you marry her, there's always room for more. If you want to try for a swim, just for Leon.
Okay then.
Interesting.
Alright, this is
Very weird.
Gimsters with this $30 donation.
Oh, Gimster was the one with the
I hope
$30.
to eventually get this type of height.
Alright, what we got?
Teach them all, saying to the best there is that what you do. But let Raccoon tell you something, brother. You ain't no Wolverine. And you ain't got what it takes to step up to a 5-time champion.
Champion of what? This fight right here's gonna be a bloomin' slobber knocker, it is. You can just feel the intensity.
Who are you talking to?
The audience. We're doing commentary, mate.
You see, Vegeta, you sit there and brag about how the Saiyans are the mightiest warriors in all the universe. How they're the most ruthless. Well, look at where they are now. Dead. You talk about your legends and your warrior race and your pride, but that doesn't mean a damn thing to this man, because the name's
Raccoon! It rhymes with doom! And you're gonna be hurting too soon!
So, when was the last time you had to,
3 weeks.
bloody hell, 3 weeks? I did it on the trip here.
Raccoon didn't even have enough room in his palm.
Now hit my music.
The GT theme. jabroni!
Well, everything went better.
You still talking
You talking more
smack, Vegeta?
What? How could you possibly get up after a hit like that? Silly Vegeta. The only thing...
The only thing, Raccoon.
I'm assuming somebody dubbed over that, or was that?
Yeah, that's dub.
Okay.
That's Team 4 Stars dub.
Got it.
Not sure why, but apparently this next one is specially selected for me.
Alright.
Oh God. I think it's because it's going to be heavy as hell. Operation
Prepare for the
Barbarossa.
super extra loud Russian national anthem, or Soviet national anthem.
Well, I think we all know what to do at this specific point once it starts. I think you all know.
Are we saluting?
Huh?
Are we saluting?
Wait for it.
Turn my nose out with this. How long does this go on for?
Okay.
Hello, Logan. Hey, it's me.
Yar.
Yeah. I'm gonna get out of this fucking thing.
Go ahead.
Or
Go ahead.
Drop at
I'll
least.
get out of mine here soon.
This armor is fun, just not to sit in.
Why are you running? Why are you running? That was good. That was good. I'm not gonna lie, that was really good.
Awesome.
Why are you running?
Alright, let's see.
Logan, you're welcome. It was a good one, Logan. That was a good one. So, Roan is currently taking off all the garb.
I'll keep the armor. I'll keep the body armor. I just want to be able to free up my hands.
Okay.
Jay Chris donated $1 for the video. If you wanna send me a meme in Discord, I want you to do it.
Look, it's the abs I wish I had. I wish I had abs.
Union donated
Sharpie on.
and said, thought it's time for some history memes.
Oh, yeah.
Go for
history
it.
Memes.
More history from Union Jack the Ripper.
Me, time travels. Random guy in 1919. I'm so glad World War is done. Me, there is another.
No,
Maybe
another.
is born unhealthy. Spartans.
Yeah.
Yes, you will be sentenced to death in the Nuremberg trials. Nazi scientists, but I can make rockets.
Oh, okay.
US.
Never mind.
Looks like you're going to the space program, Timber.
I guess you're innocent.
World War I. America. Hi, Germany, can you please stop using mustard gas? Germany. Sure, but only if you stop using shotguns. America.
Yeah.
Who would-
Nope.
The Soviet Union. The United States.
I prefer steak over onions.
1880 colorized. I love democracy, I love the Republic. One triumvirate later, the Republic will be reorganized into the First Roman Empire.
Wow.
The Spanish. Hey, what are you doing? The Aztecs. Human sacrifice. European medieval kings, when their daughter is of age, and they want to reduce tensions between kingdoms. It's the perfect day for a wedding. Japan, China, and the USA try to hide and censor their history to seem like good guys. Germany, shame. Nobody, people on coins 4,000 of years ago. Woman in the 17th century has hobbies. Witchfinders. I don't know, man, seems kinda rock out to me. I'm Frankenstein's monster. You don't seem like a monster. Napoleon was short. Hosting a great history meet. Minor historical inaccuracy.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Guy who said it louder in front of the whole class.
Edison. Knew it!
Japan, all of its history. Japan after 1945.
Oh.
World's largest family man married 39 women.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. King Somozu of Swaziland had, I think, 187 children.
Didn't King Tut or whatever had like 200?
King Somoza II, I believe, was his name.
No, like like one of the Egyptian pharaohs or something had like.
Oh, Ramses?
Yeah,
Ramses had over 100 kids.
Oh, okay. They had like 200 or some shit.
Okay, we got one more.
And you know what the funniest thing about Ramses is? There's a brand of condoms named Ramses. It's like, that's ironic as hell. It's like, the pharaoh who fathered over 100 children is the name of a condom
saying,
brand.
hey, don't make this mistake.
Freelancer Dan donated and says, do you guys think you can go through this in full with the different choices?
Depends on how long it is.
Oh no. What is it? Oh! Heists. We might be able to. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what YouTube's policy is about people reacting to originals. I know we did Cobra Kai, and we got a little bit of flack over that, but we can see.
So are you guys gonna go all the way through Avatar: The Last Airbender?
More than likely, yeah.
So is it like one episode every week?
Yes.
It's gonna be like a year-long effort, huh?
We might do 2 a day. Depends on how far ahead we get and how much. If Nick wants to. I mean, he's the one editing most of those.
Also depends on Mike and Chris, so you guys get time to come watch on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you guys kind of like skip little sections of it. I'm assuming just for copyright reasons.
Yeah, you have to cut it down for copyright.
But most you can show within like a 30 second. You can only show like 15 seconds of a 30-second space.
You practically wrote it. Everything you need is in your bag, so let's synchronize our watches on 3. 3! Perfect. Now, stick to the plan and you'll be just fine. But if you deviate from it for even a single moment, I won't come back for you. Okay? Good luck.
Whee! Is that a pork chop?
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Oh no! Not the old steak.
Gavin?
I've fallen for that twice. Yeah.
Gavin? Holy shit!
I'm guessing that's where you have to make the first choice as to what you do about him.
Yeah! Gavin, dude, that's. I love that! I love that!
Well, because Slow-Mo Guys is all part of YouTube Red now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they have their own series. So's Rooster Teeth. They got movies and stuff on
Yeah,
there.
like Laser Team.
Yeah. Well, Laser Team, and also they're doing a new series now too.
What are they working on?
It's like a sort of otherworld, like not their otherworld, but like it's sort of like how they did 10 Little Roosters and 11 Little Roosters.
Yeah.
Sort of like that, except it's different stories instead of just those.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know if you guys,
Genghis Khan, a.k.a. Real Life Zeus. No shit. No shit.
Dude, yeah, I was watching a video on that. They did not fuck around.
No, they didn't.
Pretty fucking brutal.
20 million people dead within the span of about, 30, 40 years?
It's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, they show up, surrender, and
surrender
you're
and
good.
be subjugated rather
good.
than die.
You fight back, you're in for a world.
Which I will say this: Genghis Khan could have been a more horrible ruler, but as a man of war, he was a terrible person. But as a ruler, actually, if you look at what the Mongols actually instituted. You know, religious freedom, freedom of trade.
No, they did a lot of
like,
good things. It kind of like everything. It kind of comes on the back of some.
Well,
really
yeah, I mean, you dig back far
processes.
enough, you find enough dirt on anything. Like, it's just like here in the United States, any country out
great,
there.
but
it took a shit ton of bad stuff to get there.
Shit. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's if we can maintain it. I mean, I don't pretend like America hasn't done bad things. It's just, damn. People tend to focus on the negative more than anything.
Nationalism and patriotism, I think.
Sotha said, are you guys going to react to if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device? We have been told in the comments by a lot of people that there's a lot of jokes in there we wouldn't get without knowing more of the lore, but I did talk to Nate today about the possibility of reacting to a certain lore channel's videos.
Yes. So if we catch up on the lore with those, then we'll be able to do Emperor as a text-to-speech device. But we will be continuing doing Hell's Reach because we like Hell's Reach. That shit is amazing.
Yeah.
But
what's the next meme?
Or is that it?
No
more memes right now? Okay. Well, earlier you were talking about how Bethesda's getting their asses royally handed to them by Obsidian.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never followed Fallout. I don't really. I'm not all that interested in getting Outer Worlds, so I can only speak to what I've seen. But
Outer Worlds presents a lot more than Fallout. You see, the world of Fallout, as Nick pointed out, to Nick it's not very interesting. To me, it is interesting because I like post-apocalyptic stuff. However, Outer Worlds is sort of like a futuristic madhouse, where you're in a future that's actually technically sound, and
everything went great. It just also kind of didn't.
That's the human element, though. Right. You see, like any great civilization, hey, we got great stuff in here. Oh, hey, what's that over there? Oh, dude, that guy's killing a whole lot of people. Is that a member of our? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not good. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm gonna go get dinner now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get dinner. Probably.
Oh, if I speak up about this, I'll be fired. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Fine. That's fine.
Corporate future.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, the Outer Worlds though has been, in terms of reviews and everything like that, has been kicking the shit out of Fallout. And I honestly, I don't know where.
Understatement of the century.
Well, yeah, understatement, but.
No, I don't think you don't even. Again, Outer Worlds is kind of more of the cherry on top. Bethesda is killing themselves all on their own, just fine.
So, they're going to continue the One Piece stuff. Okay.
So I heard people are worried about like Doom Eternal.
Well, I'm not, because id Software, they really are a no bullshit kind of company. Ever since John Carmack left. And I appreciate what John Carmack did for the company, but his later years, the man was way too obsessed with trying to take steps into the future that id Software was not capable of doing. So that's why he went to Oculus. And the work he's done with Oculus so far has been tremendous. I mean, you saw how the game looked the other day when we played The Exorcist VR up here. And the fact that it's that easy to use and that easy to work with, and you don't have to have the extra sensors hanging around the room, I mean, that's a great thing. It's a good thing to have that.
Yeah, but definitely, I could see, like, it's harder for me to see that game being in like a Call of Duty, like a first-person shooter game, because there's a lot more movement and stuff that's going on. But I could definitely see that working well for like a Silent Hill game.
Well, that's you see, horror is one thing a lot of people are focusing on with VR, because VR, whenever you have horror done right. For instance, The Exorcist VR, dude, so far that has been nothing but spectacular. And also, there's a bunch of others that are out there. I mean, Shattered Lights, which you played. I mean, that one was free. That one they just gave away for free. And it scared the Johns off of you, especially that last part.
Oh yeah, no, the little jump scare then.
Yeah, you're like, oh!
I don't remember that.
You don't have to remember. We have video evidence of that shit.
But yeah, no, I mean, definitely it was good. Hopefully, I want to see something like Ready Player One in the next 10, 15 years.
We'll probably get there. I would say the omnidirectional. There it goes. There's the chess piece gone. So the omnidirectional treadmill actually is closer to reality than it's ever been, because there's actually a company who makes one, and they brought in different gamers to try it out, and all the gamers universally said this is probably the best thing I've ever ran on in terms of trying to go omnidirectional and not having a limit on where I can go.
I found it comical in that movie where, like, towards the end, when they're doing the final battle, you just see people, like, they're doing the VR thing, but they're, like, running in the fucking streets and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing that does worry me a bit.
How is there not a safety mechanism to not allow that? And two, what is powering their systems? Don't they have to have that plugged into something?
Well, not necessarily, no. There's some that are mobile rigs.
I guess it is 20 years in the future. Everything's going to have Wi-Fi on it. So.
Well, Wi-Fi and also 5G networking as well, which is scary.
At that point, it'll probably be like 6G or some shit.
Well, yeah. But overall, yeah, I mean, we're more. It'll be more interconnected by then. But overall, man, I mean, VR. I mean, power source is really the biggest worry, in which they do have low power draw LEDs that they can use. That can run on like LED screens that can run on batteries for, I think, 10 hours, and it's almost equivalent to that of like a drill battery, like one of those utility batteries you plug into
you just
like a
slap
drill.
it in.
You plug it into like the little pack on the side, and it powers your whole thing.
Just hope it doesn't fucking melt or some shit.
Well, that's the thing about lithium ion batteries. Yes, however, the new style of battery, which they're trying to make smaller and smaller, is actually done by a MIT professor, non-corrosive and non-combustible. No matter what you do to it, it's a reactive enough element to where it will not explode.
Can't wait till like graphene is mass producible and it can just go into everything.
That's the thing about graphene too. I mean, graphene may very well be the key to getting more mobile power. And also a lot of stuff.
Everything. It's gonna be the key. Graphene is going to be like the key to everything.
And to think it was discovered by accident like that.
I mean, it's literally in pencil lead.
Yeah.
Or pencil graphite.
Yeah. You just get it and you just
fucking use some Scotch tape and bam, you got graphene. It's not really usable in that.
How people put it together. Whether they do like the graphene, they showed the graphene tube experiment where they showed the rigidity of it and how tough it actually is. Whenever it's like the graphene tubes lined up, like how they have fibers on clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what that stuff's capable of.
That's like my characters in the story. That's what a lot of their like standard clothing is made. It has graphene textiles in it, but like even their armor is like thousands of layers of this atom thick graphene in like interlaced with carbon nanotube. And
they showed that one quark layer of graphene would be about 1,000 times, or no, actually 10,000 times tougher than a quark level of Kevlar, which that's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. I mean, think about it like just like aerodynamic or like aeronautical materials, and you can get space elevators close to that point. Depending on how you're building it. But
we sort of reached the upper echelon in terms of what is available at the consumer level. In terms of certain scientific ingenuities and stuff like that, where because solar panels and stuff like that, there's only so much solar panels can do and so much windmills can do to produce power, and it gets to the point where you have to look at the half-life of energy maintenance. Entropy, yes. You have to look at the entropy of everything, and you have to see what holds power the best, what to eliminate from the procedure that draws too much power away, and you have to basically. One thing I think that would help a lot with Tesla, in order to make their cars a little bit lighter, is to have graphene instead of the fiberglass and metal that they use.
The biggest issue right now with graphene is just it's really, you can get it on like very small scales. But you can't get like sheets like this big to it's just we're not at that scale yet.
No,
just like that.
Nowhere near that.
Once you can start like 3D printing graphene and stuff, everything. I mean, building materials, everything will be electronic clothing, electronic surfaces. Windows will have it where, because I mean, you can have it where it's kind of like that fog glass, but every window would basically be its own solar panel. Graphene is, I don't think
that's the beauty of it.
I don't think graphene is super conductive, but it's very highly conductive.
Well,
so
it's very high. It's not as conductive as, say, something like silver.
Yeah.
Silver's very highly conductive. It's actually one of the main metals that they use in stuff like this. Same thing with gold. Same thing with copper. And even if it doesn't have 100% of the connectability of silver, if it's at 1/100th of the weight and 1/100th of the mass or of the volume of it, then what the hell's the problem? Because then there is no problem at that point.
Yeah, you just build more. I mean, the thing is, like the biggest thing that we need to do is we need to get graphene going. We need to get our fusion reactors. We get fusion, then we're expanding out into the rest of the solar system.
Well, yeah, I mean, and
that's where the shit real fun begins.
Oh yeah,
as a society.
And can you imagine where we'd be right now if they would have? Because steam powered stuff was readily available well before. I think it was 2,000 years
back
before.
in the Roman,
in the Greek, even in the Greek era. In the Greek era, there was a toy. It was a globe that had water in it and had steam jets on the sides, and would you put a flame below it and it would propel the thing. Now imagine if some great thinker back then would have thought, hey, I wonder if we can use this for other conventional stuff.
If we take 2 really long wood beams and put a couple wheels on it with this little rotating thing, maybe we can get it to move stuff.
Exactly.
Imagine if instead of all roads lead to Rome, it's all railroads.
Exactly.
That would be cool.
And through that we're no longer living in the modern era, the digital era where we're at now, but instead the post-singularity era, where we actually have discovered. Because if technology in the last 50 years has moved as fast as it has, hell, the last 10 years. You remember 10 years ago, these were not the standard. Like smartphones like this were not the standard. Years ago it was the dumb phones, and even then it wasn't as readily available to people.
It all kind of depends though, because like if you were to say, okay, the Romans now have this huge technological advantage that they take care of, right? And somehow are you suggesting like they managed to kind of more or less conquer the world?
I wouldn't say. Well, in terms of conquering the world, the Romans had conquered enough, but the problem was that they governed themselves to death. The Romans governed themselves to death. Like every great civilization goes through that point where it's so corrupt and so powered and so power derivative, in which the powers are stretched in so many different areas that nothing gets done. The reason why the Romans fell was because they governed themselves to death and they couldn't agree on where to attack or who to attack, and the barbarians stormed the gates.
Internal problems. I mean,
and the barbarians stormed the gates and destroyed them.
The only reason I bring it up is just because like a lot of our technological evolution is the result of arms races and competition stuff like Europe.
Well,
the only reason Europe, I mean, back during the after antiquity, during the Dark Ages, I mean, China and India, they were a lot more like sophisticated, I guess you'd say.
Well, the Golden Age of India.
Perspective.
The Golden Age of India, their discovery of mathematics, and we talk about like Pythagorean theorem, and what's it? Oh, it's the one. It's you can never officially, if you take half of something and you keep having it, you will never reach 100, or you'll never reach like the full.
I forget
amount.
what the exact term is, but
I know,
but I mean, like Europe at the time had fallen into like a feudal caste system.
Well, it's because
once you got gunpowder.
Well, it's because the barbarians stormed the gates and destroyed everything.
Yeah.
The church didn't help anything either, because hey, the church pretty much declared to the barbarians, hey, come on in, all this and all that.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean. But ever since the Dark Ages, though, dude, the Dark Ages, they pretty much. We learned from every generation that passes, though, we stand upon the shoulders of giants. Because think about this. Would we be able to have those nuclear arms races if Nikola Tesla hadn't made the discoveries with electricity that he had made? Would we be able to fire rockets the same way if these random students at a university were trying to make I forget what kind of fuel they were trying to make, but instead they accidentally stumbled upon the perfect formula for jet fuel.
I think they mentioned it in The Martian.
Yeah, that's right. And ever since then, that building has been the rocketry, the NASA rocketry lab, and stuff like that. And also the British with their with the Industrial Revolution that they had, the Chinese, their innovations with gunpowder, the Indians and their innovations with mathematics. Every civilization has contributed something to the world that we live in now. Now, whether we, hell, dude, our English letters are Hindu-Arabic. Our number system, the metric system, the imperial counting system, all of it. I mean, it has come from generations upon generations of gathering everything together and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and moving forward. For instance, you know that the French actually tried to use the metric calendar. They actually tried to use a metric calendar.
Yeah, they switched over to it. Well, was it metric or was it...
no, they were using...
decimal.
They were using the imperial calendar, which is 12.
Yeah.
Which counts to 12. Then they tried to use then they switched. I think it was when Napoleon came into power. They switched.
No, it was during the French Revolution when
that's right. Yeah. And they tried to switch over. They tried to switch over to the metric calendar, which was 10, 10, 10. Everything in tens, and it didn't work. You see, and it's the same thing with it was the Jesuit priests who actually came up with the perfect count of days, 365 plus some extra days.
There was also, I think they might have tried coming up with the decimal counting system. We're on a decimal where 0 through 9.
Yeah.
But there's the decimal counting system, which go at basically 11 or 10 and 11 are in addition to kind of like the round. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it's
and
Zen or something. There's two extra
and also we can't forget this as well. In terms of mathematics as well, the concept of zero. You see, the Europeans didn't grasp the concept of zero for the longest time. It was from them studying the Mesopotamians and the Aztecs that they actually realized the value of zero, because to them zero was a non sequitur. It just didn't exist. It didn't have to exist.
Yeah.
But then when they study the concept of zero from what the Aztecs did and what the Mesopotamians did, and look what happened. You get the whole concept of zero. Zero and infinity could they be the same? Are they the same? Is zero to the point of where it's so much of something it doesn't matter? The concepts that are born from that is amazing.
And now we are on an exponential technological climb.
Yes, and my phone is almost dead.
Which it would be cool if, I've seen people there's one channel that I watch. I don't know if you've heard. You watch Isaac Arthur on YouTube.
Oh, there goes my phone. It just died.
I don't know if you watch Isaac Arthur on YouTube at all.
Not really.
A lot about the aspects of science in the future and stuff.
Yeah.
And he posits that there's potential for us, physically us, to actually be at the right point in human evolution, human technological development, that we might be able to be on the beginning of life extension, possibly indefinite, depending.
They've been trying to solve the riddle of genetic. Pretty much, the DNA of a human being starts to break down after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
It's like that all the way down to our core, and they're trying to solve that equation, solve that riddle, the riddle of human aging, with gene therapy. Adding in newer genes to sort of reverse the aging process or halt it.
The biggest thing, the one that I know of, the one that I address in my story, because humans in my story at that point live to about 250, 300, and they don't even get old age. They just kind of eventually their organs begin to fail, but they're still kind of natural looking, more or less. But is basically extending the telomeres on your chromosomes.
Yeah.
You do that, then you can kind of fight off the wear and tear on your DNA and stuff. But
they're trying.
Science.
Yeah. How long have we been going now, Nick?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
Do we got any more memes?
Okay. Before we go on with that meme, I am going to
striptease.
Well, not really. I mean, Ariel's not here, so can't really strip for her. But yeah. Oh God! Now I can imagine like all the Thanos, all the Thanos lovers out there. They're. It's like, I like them big. I like them chunky. Sorry. I know you hate that meme, Nick. Alright. So, yeah. Me, can't show that. But, Roan, would you unzip me, please? Ah. Damn it.
Am I doing both? Or?
Yes, please.
There we go.
Oh, God. My legs can breathe now. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus.
He's shedding his skin. And a child is born.
No! Motherfucker, dude, that's nasty. Oh, okay.
It's the circle of life. It's not nasty. I remember having to watch the fucking, what was it? What was that fucking thing they made us watch in goddamn
I didn't realize you were
Bio or
going to
something?
pick a meme for you. I'll play Mandibles meme for you, Chris.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
What was that show they showed us in, or not show, like documentary they showed us in sex ed in like middle school or whatever? I forget what it's called. Something Life.
Quest for Fire?
No.
I remember that one. Radon Chong getting destroyed by friggin' Ron Perlman. Jesus Christ.
I'm pretty sure that's not what I...
No.
I almost did.
I threw it over.
You did about it. You were close. Alright. So, alright, well, what we got for
okay. What's the meme?
Alright, Mandible sent me one that I'm going to do for Chris's, since Chris said he meant for someone to pick one for him.
Okay, cool.
I'm not
you're
bad.
not.
I'm just drawn that way. God, it feels so good now that I'm not wearing 4 layers of friggin' clothes. Woo! Now I'm just down to 1. Oh, no.
That's alright. And at some point you need to glue those foam pieces up better.
I'm not dabbing, I'm looking at the floor for cheese.
I'm trying to find my cheese. I also can't seem to find Gromit.
My dog is dead.
It's nacho cheese. It's my cheese.
Gromit. No, it's my cheese.
I'm going to say the N-word.
Don't say...
I'm going to...
You can't say the N-word, it's 2019.
But I'm wearing black shoes.
The nacho cheese is getting away, Wallace.
I wish I could fly.
Found the cheese.
We found the cheese. It's time to consume.
The cheese.
Consume the cheese.
Doritos.
I'm ready to play some poker and discuss cheese.
Business. This is not poker.
This table has taken me hostage and I don't know how to leave, lads.
I consumed ketamine and I'm going to die.
I'm ready to go to the future, lads. It's Big Yoshi, lads.
Thick boy
You gotta
Yoshi.
help us find a cheese.
There is no cheese.
What? You...
The burger's spinning.
Everyone, boys, stop spinning. We've got...
spinning. Stop.
Are you telling me there's no cheese?
There's no cheese.
That's what I'm telling you. What do you mean there's no cheese?
What do you mean there's no cheese? What the f*** do you mean there's no cheese?
What happened to the cheese? Give us the bloody cheese!
Run, Yoshi!
Give us the cheese!
Oi, lads, come to the theatre. I'm gonna put on a movie for us.
To the theatre!
To the theatre!
I love the theatre.
That's awesome. Cheese. Hello there, Gromit.
All right.
I'd like some
One more
cheese,
from
please.
Freelancer Dan. He says,
Oh my. Nannerman? Is it the Nannerman? Please. Which one is it? Is it one of the animated? Hey! The new boss.
Yeah, I like to party. Okay, lock that door. You're never leaving. Sit on down, chill, go ahead. Just kneel down for a second. Okay. Question number 1. What do you think about Muppets?
Gonzo's my favorite, and to be honest, I love the movie.
Do you find it unsettling that they're not quite a mop and not quite a puppet?
I actually never thought about that. Does that affect the performance? Okay.
Okay, don't come in yet. Hold on, I'm naked and I can't see. What's that?
Nanners is a friggin' nutcase, and I love him. I really wish he'd come back and just do like some appearances with Vanoss and Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, because to me he was one of my favorites back from like 2009 to like 2013. I think I'm still subscribed to him, dude. God.
Is that all of them?
All right.
Yeah, last thing I'll say on the whole Call of Duty thing. So they definitely kind of... I played it on... I just did one playthrough on regular, but damn, dude, you take all kinds of damage on regular. Like, they definitely kicked up the amount of damage.
Yeah, they don't make it easy, huh?
They make it where you can kind of, like, lock onto cover with your weapon and whatever and, like, look around corners and above cover and shit.
That's cool.
So that you're not... Yeah, it's definitely... They kind of have a little bit more...
realism
aspect to it, which, I mean...
That's good.
Still Call of Duty, it's still kind of a little... excessive, but it feels a lot more grounded. You're not fighting Russians in like Washington D.C. or some shit. It seems a lot more kind of you're fighting, you know, terrorists in Urzikstan, whatever the hell the country's called in the game. Yeah, it's definitely. I absolutely recommend it. I might buy it at some point, but yeah.
I'm probably gonna get that too. Actually, I need to get a copy for me and Nick so we can play. I wonder if my cousin Zach's gonna get a copy, because if he gets a copy, because they've opened up cross-platform play.
Supposedly there's like a 32 on 32 like large like war game or something.
Hell yes.
Method, and like they've actually introduced like vehicles into it, so it's a little bit kind of straying into kind of Battlefield territory. But
no, you see that's okay though, as long as it's done right.
Yeah.
You see, they had vehicles in World at War. They had the tanks and they had a few other things, but overall, man, I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that. I mean, just as long as as long as the gameplay's good.
Supposedly they scaled down a lot of like the perks and stuff, kind of more to the traditional what you saw in like a lot of the earlier Modern Warfare games, where I mean, you get like the UAV sentry turret. I think you get like a C-130, a few other things. We don't get like a billion fucking different things.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just hear one guy. He's got 24 kills on the match. Like, somebody kill him! Somebody kill him! Tactical nuke incoming! God dang it! And the game's over.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have enjoyed this little Halloween-inspired rendition of Renegades Ramble. And also, if you want to see more from us, I mean, hit that subscribe button right down there, and also ring that bell to stay notified when we go live, and also whenever we post a new video. You can personalize it if you want to. I mean, it's really all up to you. And if there's other stuff that you want to see from us, I mean, head over to our Patreon, head over to our Discord, and we got merchandise too. I mean, that's right down there in the description. You can find that. We actually have I need to get those shirts printed out. There's one for you, one for him, one for me, and one for Jacob.
Look at that t-shirt.
Yes, we all have t-shirts. So once again, live from Primordic Studios, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Roan.
I'm Nick.
And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.